that might indicate that a spring clean is in order for you. If you're new here, then if you're seeing us on Facebook, consider liking us. And of course, if you're catching us on YouTube, then consider subscribing. We're all about helping you reach the next level of health and lifestyle, and we share hints and tips to help you to that end. So yes, we're talking here about spring cleaning your body. In this region of the world, it is spring. And, you know, spring is where we see new growth and we see change and we see leaving the old and starting with the new. And sometimes you can be sort of left run down and toxic after the winter period. And so what are some of the symptoms of a toxic system that you could be experiencing? Well, any sorts of gut problems. If you're experiencing any sort of gut problem, indigestion, bloating, constipation, even alternating constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, these are all warning signs. They're all indicators of a potentially toxic system. Obviously, we're being fairly general what toxic means, but in essence, your body is not detoxifying as it could be. So we need to spring clean your system. What about body odor? If things are getting a bit stinky, then that's an indicator too of a potentially toxic system. If you suffer from frequent allergies and illness. So once we enter the spring period, many people really struggle with spring, with intense allergies. Or perhaps if you were somebody that was sick quite often through the winter period, that's a potential indicator of, you know, a toxic load on your body systems. What about trouble losing fat? If you sort of are somebody that sort of says, oh, you know, diets don't seem to work for me and no matter what I do, the scales don't budge, then that could be a warning sign, really, that your system is overloaded with toxins and your body is reluctant to let go of the fat stores where many of the toxins are actually stored in your body. What about headaches? Do you suffer from headaches or migraines or just general, you know, aches and pains even down to joint pain? These can all be warning signs of a toxic, overloaded, overburdened body system. Moodiness and irritability, foggy thinking, as I said, joint pain, and otherwise just simply fatigue and lethargy and feeling run down and, you know, low in energy, poor sleep as well. So all of these are warning signs, and also skin problems. Any sort of skin problem is a warning sign. So what do we do about it? Well, you know, if any of those warning signs are showing up for you, it's essentially an indicator that your natural detoxification pathways aren't functioning as they should be. Because, you know, a lot of the times people do talk about, you know, I did a 3-day detox or whatever. And while these sorts of things can be beneficial, what we really want to do is spend some time optimizing the body's natural detoxification pathways. And, you know, medically, they would say detox pathways are just in the liver. You know, phase 1 and phase 2, you might have heard of those. Whereas, you know, the body has 5 detoxification organs and 2 associated pathways. And so what we want to do is, wherever possible, reduce the avoidable exposure to chemicals so that we take the burden off the body and increase the body's natural detoxification systems. And so these are the pathways that we really want to optimize. And so if you're looking for a program to really help you to do that, turnkey systems and all the help and support that you need, then that's one of the things that we do here in the Savvy team. Consider looking at our detox program. We have a masterclass on that, different web classes as well. So reach out to us and we can point you in the right direction. But these detox pathways, first of all, looking at the skin. Now, the skin's the largest organ of elimination. It's our major detox pathway. And it's often called the third kidney because of its ability to let go of toxins. And so obviously toxins often come out in perspiration. That's part of the body odor that we can end up with. And so to optimize the skin's, you know, detoxification abilities, first of all, we need to make sure that we're not clogging the skin with toxic chemicals. So many things like lanolin and different fats, even natural fats, can clog the skin's natural ability to respire and let go of toxins. So be very careful what you are putting on your skin. It can be a carrier for toxins getting into your system, and also some of the things, many soaps and creams can create a barrier that stops the body's natural respiration and elimination of toxins. So anything that opens up that as a detox pathway, so exercise, sweating really opens up that detox pathway. Jumping into a hot sauna and amplifying that sweating really does help. Dry skin brushing, so the natural bristle brushes that are quite stiff, that can really help to open up the skin's ability to detoxify. But of course, as I said, we really want to reduce any exposure to chemicals as well, because there's no use trying to detoxify when we're throwing all the chemicals in. So that's the skin, different tips there. Now we need to move on to the bowel. So by the way, if you are suffering from skin problems, itchy skin, even breakouts and those sorts of things, that's a pretty good warning sign. Anyway, over to the bowel. What is the bowel? Is our second biggest organ of elimination. And one of the big issues with the bowel is that many people can become constipated. They can end up with a dysbiosis situation in the flora, and then that also produces more toxins, so it creates what's called an auto-intoxication situation there. So, the bowel is just so important to look after. And we could say the gut, the whole gut, right from the mouth right through to the other end of things, we need to optimize all of that. So what can we do to optimize it? Well, some of the things that we already spoke about in skin, like, for example, exercise, that can help. The movement can really help as well. But in particular, things such as a fiber-rich diet and drinking plenty of water too. So we really want to stop the constipation. And you may not need to supplement with fiber, although that could be warranted for you, because sometimes we can just end up with a very slow transit time, and we're actually reabsorbing toxins from our own bowel because of constipation, those sorts of things. So fiber and water can make a big difference. Green superfoods can make a huge difference too. So many of the green superfoods are actually prebiotic in nature, and so they feed the bacteria inside the gut and really help the functioning of the microbiome. So obviously taking probiotics and prebiotic fibers really helpful there too. And if things are really, really bad, then that's where doing the flushes and enemas or having a colonic irrigation, for example, going to a practitioner can be warranted there. But most of the time, you just need to optimize the things that support the bowel's natural action. So another thing there that's really important in terms of bowel health is just generally your diet. So we encourage you to follow the Eat Savvy protocol, which is really, a natural whole food protocol. But what's different compared to many other whole food protocols is our focus is on reducing all avoidable toxins, whether they be man-made or natural. So things that are anti-nutrients and irritants to the system of most people. Many people, who otherwise set themselves up, in terms of health, are still consuming supposedly healthy foods that are actually irritating their gut lining, maybe even damaging their gut, leading to leaky gut and toxins getting into the bloodstream and triggering autoimmune problems. So, following the Eat Savvy approach will help you to reduce chemical exposure and toxin exposure from natural foods and inflammation, and find the most nutritious food with the least toxic load. So it follows our fundamental principle that we believe that the underlying causes of most disease and illness in the body is an overload of toxicity and not enough nutrition. And if we can rebalance that with some simple strategies and nutritional solutions and safer product solutions, then we can really stack the odds in our favor. So that's the bowel. And now we look at the liver. Now the liver is an integral part in the body's detoxification system. And it's why, from a medical point of view, it's considered the organ of detoxification as such. And that's because of the unique phases that the liver goes through. The challenge with these two phases in the liver is that if your liver pathways, your detoxification pathways, aren't functioning properly, then it can actually make things worse. So let's say your phase 1 detoxification is working really well, but phase 2 is a little bit sluggish, okay? What that means is that you could end up in a situation where, just imagine this in your home. So let's say it's someone's job to get the bin out from under the sink or wherever you have it in your kitchen and to get it out to the front door. So imagine that's phase 1, getting it out of the kitchen and dumping it at the front door. Well, what if that second person's job or that second phase was a little bit slower, then it builds up at the front door and it's not a nice sight, not a nice experience there. So that's what these two phases are about. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that there are things there. Our diet is optimizing both phases. Our supplementation regime is optimizing both phases. So following the Eat Savvy diet will take the load off the liver. So you've got that under control. Drinking more water, cleaning up the bowel, doing all those sorts of things will also take the load off the liver. But specifically, there are some herbs such as St. Mary's thistle, dandelion, broccoli, antioxidants. These all help. So you could drink more. We use herbal blends that contain all of these nutrients to help optimize the detox pathways. But of course, you could include more cruciferous vegetables in your diet. You could, drink more dandelion tea, for example, and herbal teas, those sorts of things. Green superfoods are brilliant for the liver too. So more green smoothies or specific supplements that have spirulina and chlorella. These are all really, really good for the liver, as well as the kidneys. Now, your kidneys do play a crucial role in the whole detoxification process. And one of the biggest loads that are put on the kidneys is basically not drinking enough water. So drinking lots of other things like soft drinks and juices and smoothies and tea and coffee, but actually not drinking enough water to allow the kidneys to function properly. Your kidneys are amazing organs. Imagine them like not only just filters, but a very clever recycling plant too that says, we still need some of that, let's send that over there, we still need some of that. So they're actually very, very clever and doing a lot for you, and many people abuse them by just not drinking enough water and not eating the right foods as well that can reduce the load. So some of the things that specifically help to optimize the kidneys, things like celery, garlic, parsley, a herb called devil's claw. A dandelion also helps. All of the liver herbs will help the kidneys in most cases too. But with the kidneys there, if you're suffering from things such as like gout, for example. Now, gout's just another example of a uric acid crystal buildup in the body. That's another topic, but it is an indication that your kidneys could be better at functioning and removing these crystals. So you could be too acidic, your kidneys aren't functioning, you're not drinking enough water, those sorts of things. So kidneys, really, really important. Now, most of you probably don't think of your lungs as being a way of getting toxins out, but do you have bad breath? Ever had that, that really bad taste and everything and bad breath? That's an example of toxins leaving your body. So there's certainly toxins are eliminated through the lungs. And so, there are some herbs that really help to optimize the detox pathway of the lungs, such as cordyceps mushroom, those sorts of things, really open the airway. But ultimately just exercise, deep breathing, avoiding smoking, avoiding passive smoking and fumes and insecticides and all of those sorts of things. So, that's really some of the ways that you can optimize your lung function as a detox pathway. Then we have the lymphatic system. Now, the lymphatic system is really, really important as part of the whole detoxification system. So it's like a network of tissues and organs that help the body rid itself of all these unwanted materials. It's like if you almost imagine the you could almost imagine the circulatory system being how all that, which is the next pathway, how all of the nutrients are delivered to the cells. And then we could almost sort of think of the lymphatic system as sort of like the sewerage system, bringing everything back. That's a real generalization, but nevertheless, if your lymphatic system isn't functioning very well, then you're going to end up with toxins building up in certain areas of the body. So we need to optimize that. Now, one of the best ways of optimizing your lymphatic system is to move more, exercise. So if you've had a bit of a sedentary winter, it's time to start moving. It's springtime to spring into action, so that really can help. Lymphatic exercise, like the rebounders, they can really help. A lymphatic massage can help if you've been blocked up, but really getting out and exercising, because the lymphatic system doesn't sort of pump without the muscles pumping it. So it's actually the movement that moves the lymph around the body. So if you've been sitting on, what, for a while, then it can show up in a clogged up lymphatic system. But the dry skin brushing that we talked about to optimize the skin is also very beneficial. And there are some herbs that can help, such as astragalus or astragalus, dandelion, devil's claw. Some of the things for the liver and kidneys also help to optimize the lymphatic system. Then we have the circulatory system. And so when you think about the circulatory system, it's sort of an associated pathway. It's not like our detox organs. These two associated pathways sort of work in tandem. So we don't want to leave out the poor old circulatory system. It's a pretty important system in the body. So again, movement, exercise, dry skin brushing, that helps with that. But there are some herbs that can really help with poor circulation issues and that sort of thing, such as juniper berry, things like grapeseed extract. Horse chestnut really helps to optimize circulation. So if there's poor circulation to, let's say there's poor circulation to your extremities, imagine that, you might have cold hands and feet and that sort of thing, but you don't want poor circulation to your important organs, or otherwise disease can develop in those particular regions of the body. So optimizing your circulatory system is really, really important. And we actually have our Healthy Heart Challenge, which is all about optimizing the circulatory system. But get out and exercise some more. Focus on the free eats every diet. Drink plenty of water. All of those things are things that you can start today to begin optimizing your detox pathways of the body. And who knows, you do all of that, and you might feel a cleaner, more vibrant, healthier version of you. You might be looking and feeling younger. You might start to lose fat, look your best, all those sorts of things. The detox, our detox protocol is something that we really suggest that people do when they're exiting the winter period, because even just a month of detox really can help the way you feel. It's almost like a kickstart. Even though just general nutrition and eating right and all that sort of thing can optimize your detox pathways over the long term, sometimes just a bit of a kickstart with 30 days of detox can really make a huge difference. You know what? Even downloading, even grabbing the 12 steps for getting started on the Eat Savvy diet, drinking plenty of water, downloading the free Eat Savvy diet, and just saying, right, for the next 7 days, I'm going to practice eating nothing but in the green. See how you go. Test it for yourself. And then think, no, I'm going to extend that to 30 days. Just imagine if you can make that much change just by drinking more water and eating healthier. Imagine if you can optimize things with herbs and other support for your system. So there you have it. That's how to spring clean your body, the 7 detox pathways. Let's see whether we can clean you up. Okay, follow some of that advice, and look, if you are looking for a program to help you, and you just want a guiding hand to help you along through this process, then consider our detox protocol. So until the next Whiteboard Wednesday, it's Corey Sievers here, encouraging you to be savvy.